Yo, what is up, guys? Dashing here, finally back after nearly a month MIA due to obviously the world coming to an end and me getting very sick. My voice still hasn't fully recovered, so bear with me if there's some cracks or if I end up losing it entirely by the end of the show. But the point is, we have returned here for Supremacy episode 24, CMV number 672. As things get underway with some tag team action, the arsenal of Tailco Val, that's Tashera, in the ring right now. Don't ask me how I know, because of course he tags through Labyrinth, looking just about identical in every single way, locking up with Jason Spade, who is standing side by side with Andrew Briggs, and a lot of questions in the air as we head towards cause and effect. In just a couple of weeks, that huge tag team main event made official, as it will be the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Chris Proudfoot and his disciple Joey Diaz taking on International Champion and self-proclaimed NGCW Champion Shay Hoxton with his ally Subject Zero, and of course the other self-proclaimed NGCW Champion Jason Spade. And question mark, will he be able to find himself a tag team partner, or will he decide to go it alone? Maybe if tonight things work out with Andrew Briggs, then he has indeed found himself a lifeline. Of course, Andrew Briggs was instrumental last episode in helping Jason Spade knock off Bram Miller, and that no-holds-barred match, Briggs didn't really do it out of any sense of, friendship. He did it because he has his own issues with Bram Miller. The week prior, Bram Miller had defeated Andrew Briggs in a no-holds-barred match of their own. Labyrinth looking for a tag back to Tashera, as we continue to barrel towards that history-making match between Chris Proudfoot, Shay Hoxton, and Jason Spade. No date set yet, but when it happens, it's going to change the landscape of not only CMV, but the wrestling business as a whole. 619 from Tashera there. We all saw what Tailco Val did to her own kin just earlier this week. Tashera and Labyrinth, the only surviving members of the Arsenal after, the rest of the flock, if you will, disappointed. Tailco Val, she took matters into her own hands and dished out her own sense of discipline. Saw very clearly what Tailco Val is willing to do to her own allies. So just think, we've seen, time and time again, really the lengths at which she's willing to go to fulfill her curiosity. Over the knee. Let's just hope that for Tashera's sake, things don't play out the same. Big knee by Andrew Briggs, the former undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, into a pin and nearly had it. Big night of action here on Supremacy number 24. We know that at Cause and Effect, the 7th annual King of the Ring tournament will take place. Andrew Briggs, a former King of the Ring himself, with the Shining Wizard. 1, 2, 3, and this one's over. Jason Spade and Andrew Briggs making relatively quick work of the Arsenal Tailco Val, and that she was watching Jason Spade. Guys, could these two form a lasting partnership? Has Spade found himself an ally for Cause and Effect? Maybe he won't have to go it alone after all. I know that Spade finds it hard to get along with others, but his back's against the wall. He may have no choice but to accept the hand of Andrew Briggs. And as I was mentioning before, Andrew Briggs abruptly ended that match, guys. Cause and Effect will play host to the 7th annual King of the Ring Tournament. 8 men going to compete to be crowned the King and earn a future World Championship match. We're going to see a lot of those participants in action here tonight. We've got a big 6-man tag team matchup. Looking forward to George King. His Knights going to be taking on Kevin Lee, Jay Young, and Europe. And Killian Red, guys, but a bit of an announcement next week. Brian Jacobson, Killian Red, ahead of the King of the Ring, will both be defending their championships. Now, I don't want to get in trouble. Esteemed General Manager hasn't told me just yet who the challengers will be. But before Jacobson and Red can focus on the King of the Ring tournament, worry about defending their respective titles, and Jacobson also action later on, taking on Brett Curtis in what could be a show stealer. But right now is the debut of Austin Collins as he takes on Harry Wallace, the veteran of the ring, guys, picking up a big win for himself last episode when he defeated the debuting Bryce Adams. This coming after months and months. I mean, really, Harry Wallace been on a losing streak since last season. So for Harry Wallace, last episode, that meant a lot to him, but it's time to see if he can keep that trend going. Maybe get the old Randy Orton golden shovel out again and put these youngins in line. I don't know if it's going to be so easy here against Austin Collins. Heard a lot about this young man. Clash of styles indeed. Let's just hope that Collins doesn't underestimate Harry Wallace though, like Bryce Adams did. Nice dragon screw there. Oh, and snaps the leg off to the side. Main event we look forward to later on. Bob Luger, one-on-one with Bloody Justice, guys. And we know that at Cause and Effect, it will be the Unified World Tag Team Champions, Bloody Justice and Jared Leon, versus the team of Quantum and Bob Luger. Luger and Quantum have made it clear that they would like those titles on the line. I don't know if Mr. Slate's going to oblige them, but maybe he'll have no choice depending on the outcome of our main event. Things haven't been going so well for the Unified World Tag Team Champions when it comes to Quantum and Luger. Irish whip by Harry Wallace on the rebound. Going to take that arm. Nice clothesline to counter by Collins, who closes the distance, picking Wallace up to his feet. Fireman's carry, dropping him down in his rear end. Wallace knows that he's got to stay on top of these rookies. Oh, hang on a minute. That is the music of Bryce Adams, guys, the man that Harry Wallace defeated last week. Harry Wallace upsetting the rookie. Wait a minute, and Bryce Adams is in the ring. Pile driver by Adams, who hightails it before the referee knows what's going on. And I guess Adams didn't take that loss too well. Austin Collins crawling into the pin, gonna try to take advantage. 1, 2, oh, but the precious few seconds it took for him to crawl into that pin is all Wallace needed to muster enough strength to kick out. However, this might be academic at this point now. Harry Wallace, out of instinct alone, kicking out there, and Austin Collins going to have no problem continuing to capitalize. Just as quickly as Adams appeared, man, he's gone. But look at Wallace, even in his old age, can never be counted out. This new wave of talent on Supremacy not standing for Harry Wallace, getting in their way. I'm not entirely sure if Austin Collins is aware that he got that assist from Bryce Adams. And like I said, I guess that Bryce Not thrilled at all. But I'll tell you what, that GTS is gonna do it. Ain't no getting up for Harry. What? A knee to the face. Austin Collins understandably livid as he slams the canvas in frustration. And now look at these elbows, one after the other. Oh, come on now. That's just downright disrespectful, unnecessary. We're seeing the true colors of Austin Collins in this match. His debut on Supremacy. Harry Wallace just too weak. I mean, how do you survive a pile driver? You got to respect the fact that Wallace is even able to continue, let alone put up the fight that he is. Leg drop bulldog. Like I said, though, it's just a matter of time. Austin Collins has been 95% control. Little spurts of offense here and there by Harry. Spear! Spear by the former footballer. One. Just a one count. Harry Wallace looking around, trying to thrive off the energy provided to him via these fans. It may be all that's keeping him standing right now. Re-entering the ring, only to catch a couple more of those. Whoa, wait! Harry Wallace tossing Collins into the air. World's strongest slam. Austin Collins. As a chant of "This is awesome" emerges from the crowd. Spinning kick to the temple. 1, 2, 3. Austin Collins taking no shit from Harry Wallace. Got straight back up after a catapult world's strongest slam and hit that deadly kick to the side of the head. Guys, look at the blood. Harry Wallace is undoubtedly going to need some stitches when he makes it to the back. But man, let's talk about the resiliency of Harry Wallace. Even after the run-in by Bryce Adams, still gave Collins a run for his money. Look at that kick. Bam! Wallace out like a light, flipping that switch. And Austin Collins making his presence felt here in his CMV debut. And as we want the potential to blow the roof off this arena, between Brett Curtis and the CMV Anarchy champion Bryson, of the 8 men who are slated to compete in the annual King of the Ring at Cause and Effect in just a couple of weeks. But as announced earlier, Brian does have a championship next week on the own show. Can't afford to lose focus here, Curtis, but he's got to be wondering who exactly he's going to be defending the championship against. Our illustrious general manager, Mr. Slate, yet to reveal it. I'll tell you one thing, though. Brett Curtis, over these last couple of weeks, has been looking mighty fine. We saw what he did last episode to Ashley Amell. with that spinning tombstone pile driver, and Brett Curtis very well may be a bit of a favorite heading into the King of the Ring tournament. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't put a little bit of money on the former NGW Tag Team Champion. He's my pick. But that King of the Ring tournament is pretty stacked. I mean, you got Brian Jacobson in there. You got the European champion Killian Red, Jaquan Shea, George King, a former world champion. It is going to be a hell of a tournament, that is for sure. Only one man will stand at the end of it as the king. Brett Curtis has had a hell of a journey these last few years since coming to CMV. The NGW alumni, proving on many occasions that he has what it takes to be a top star, and perhaps cause an effect will be his chance to finally break that glass ceiling. Brian Jacobson, since the start of this season, really turning things around for himself, picking up the Anarchy Championship, his first title in CMV after that loss that really took its toll on him. Whoa! At Ascendance to Pierre Thompson. Jacobson said it himself, wants to become the hardcore king. Some great combinations by Brett Curtis so far in this match. Only a couple of minutes in, and it's already living up to the hype. Nice counter by BJ. Hip toss right into a pin, wanting to end things early, keep himself fresh for that championship defense next week and the tournament. Up over the shoulders. Brian Jacobson taking Curtis for a bit of a walk over to the corner, maybe thinking snake eyes, but Curtis just in the nick of time, going to save himself with some well-placed elbows to the side of the head, knee to the gut, and that'll suck the air right up out of you. Make it hard to breathe. Hurricane Rana City by Brett Curtis in this match. More of a head scissors, but now off the shoulders, Brian Jacobson planted face first, center of the ring, hooks the leg. Brett Curtis, maybe he'll earn himself the shot at that Anarchy Championship next week. Curtis's time in NGW was spent. Oh, wait a minute! There it is! He's setting up for it. Wait, what? Okay, 1, 2. I thought Brett Curtis was going for that 360 tombstone pile driver, but he fooled all of us, turning it into like a double knee kind of lung blower. I'm not entirely sure if I've ever seen a move like that before. And now a power bomb. What the hell? Into a Samoan drop. Somebody come get this man. He's hitting some things I ain't never seen before in my 6 years of calling CMV action. Where does he come up with it? Brian Jacobson has no response. How do you defend against some wild, otherworldly offense? Brett Curtis not playing around. He's coming with the sauce tonight. But Jacobson, with that unmatched spy buster, no one does it better, brother. 1, 2, but just a 2 count. Jacobson says, you want to play around, I got you. Might be looking to virtue signal. See ya, bye. 1, 2, 3. Brian Jacobson, just like that, shuts down Brett Curtis. But let's give it up for your boy. I mean, we saw him hit some things that I didn't think was possible. Brian Jacobson scrambled to find an answer, and indeed he did. Look at that. What do you even call that? A tombstone pile driver turned into a lung blower. And then he hit a freaking, what did he hit? Something into a Samoan drop. My brain can't comprehend it. And even in defeat, Brett Curtis, he's still my favorite heading into King of the Ring, all right? I'm not going to change my pick. That's not who I am. We all know that. But Brian Jacobson Off the spine buster, off the virtue signal. Looking like he's ready for that championship defense next week. And wait a minute, it's Jaquan Shea, a fellow competitor in the King of the Ring tournament, and maybe Jaquan Shea revealing himself as the challenger next week, jumping Brian Jacobson from behind. But Jacobson, off the adrenaline of that victory, not looking to let Shea get the jump on him. He says, you want some, come get some. I got more. Shea grabs the foot. The former Anarchy champion. He's had enough sitting on the sidelines. He's done. But Jacobson, willing to fight. Oh, 8-second ride. And maybe Jaquan Shea jumping the gun. Should have just waited for next week in the championship match. I am getting confirmation now. It will be Jaquan Shea challenging Jacobson next week for the title. Jacobson standing tall though, but Jaquan Shea has made it clear that he is through waiting around in the shadows. What a night for Jacobson. Look at that little tribute to the Macho Man. When you're the champion, you got a target on your back. Let's just hope that BJ is ready for it. And coming up next, my fine, we know that later on in our main event will be Bloody Justice going with Bob Luger. But first, we've got the other half of their respective teams, Leon and Quantum, to clash. Now, like I said earlier, not been going so well for the World Tag Team Champions put up against either Quantum or Luger. I mean, just last episode, Quantum defeated the Unified World Tag Champions by himself. And cat match, it was afterwards that the champions started to use their numbers advantage to beat Quantum. Luger, of all people, coming in to save the day, and now that match has been confirmed for cause and effect. Bloody Justice and Jared Leon versus Quantum and Bob Luger, not for the championships, although Quantum and Luger have made it clear they would like the match to be for the gold. Mr. Slate, not so inclined to make that official. But if you ask me, they have more than earned it. Tonight is really do or die for both Justice and Leon. They've got to start making some headway in this war, because if things keep up, they ain't going to end well. And well, there you see at ringside, Joy Justice, the wife of Jared Leon, sister of Bloody Justice, getting involved now, and that's going to allow Leon to capitalize. Big boot to the chest of the Future Man. Mr. Slate making this match so that hopefully neither man will interfere in the main event later on tonight. Hopefully we get a clean match between Bloody Justice and Bob Luger. I mean, that's a big match for Bloody Justice against someone the caliber of Bob Luger if he's victorious in that one. We've seen Bloody Justice before pull out those big upset dubs. Knee to the chest doesn't even phase Jared Leon. We've talked multiple times over these last couple of months how much more fierce the former NGW Tag Team Champion has become since aligning with Tailco Val. It's almost as if she's made him just that much more indestructible, and believe me, he was already a tough man to put down beforehand, as we saw last season on NGW. Stiff kick to the lower back. Cause and effect is going to be a hell of a show, guys. The King of the Ring tournament, that massive triple threat tag team main event. Quantum tries for a pin, but only able to get a 1 count. Leon already back up to his feet. Looks like Quantum's going to try to throw out a Hadouken, but cutting him off and putting him down into a pin. Gets a 0 count. This war between Mr. Slate, Tailcoat Val and their forces. Bob Luger getting worse and worse with each passing week timestamp. Only able to sniff out a 2 count, and you saw Joy Justice getting up onto the apron, worried about her husband, but she should be worried now after the 24th punch. 1, 2. And Leon must have a jaw of steel. You see, Quantum can hardly believe it, but he's able to see into the future, so he shouldn't be that surprised. And now look at Leon shoving his hand right down the gullet of Quantum. That mandible claw trying to choke out the future man. 1, 2. Now, Bob Luger thought that he was in this battle alone, but Quantum, perhaps one of the most least likely candidates. Are you kidding me? Jared Leon with both hands trying to suffocate Quantum, taking him off his feet, guys, and Quantum's not a small guy. I mean, these two are very similarly built, but he just held Quantum up like a freaking rag doll. Brainbuster down onto the knee. That is just classic Quantum. That's what I'm talking about, man. You would never see the Jared Leon of old doing something like that. Now, believe me, he was always a powerful guy, but once Tailcoat Val got her hands on him, just morphed into this ungodly creature, hardly human anymore. Quantum's never been a guy to just stand off to the side and let things unfold. Has a real sense of justice, and he saw that Bob Luger was in need of help. Nobody would come to stand by his side, but Quantum did. I mean, he has his own personal beefs with Xander Slake throughout the years here in CMV, but while Bob, big boot out of the ring. Now that's a tumble to take for Quantum. Bob Luger pays his debts, and he saw that it was now Quantum who needed help, who needed a hand to be extended to him. And Luger was there, another mandible claw, guys. Jared Leon doing all that he can to take out Quantum once and for all. But look as Quantum fights, always fighting. Until the very end, another kick to the midsection. Quantum going way back with the package pile driver. Joy Justice can do nothing but watch. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Leon sitting up, looking over at Joy, emotionless. Tries to go for another timestamp, maybe. Able to counter the back suplex using his weight to collapse down on top of Leon. 24th punch numero dos. And there ain't no way in hell. 1, 2, 3. Quantum does it again. Overcoming the odds. This man is done messing around. The Unified World Tag Team Champions. They were given a mission by Mr. Slate, and that was to end Quantum once and for all. But that is proving to be easier said than done. Week after week, Quantum has gotten the better of them, and now he's got Bob Luger backing him up. We'll see what happens later on in our main event between Bloody Justice and Bob Luger, guys, but if I'm Mr. Slate, if I'm Tailcoat Val, I'm wondering, what do I got to throw at these guys to freaking keep them down? Jared Leon rolling out of the ring, looking for the assistance of his wife, but I think Joy Justice wants to get in that ring right now. Six-man tag team action. Up next on the agenda, as George King and his Knights, Max Ryder and Joe Dirt, going to take on Kevin Lee, Jay Young, and European champion Kelly Red. Certainly an interesting trio, but of course they, along with George King, a part of the King of the Ring tournament taking place at Cause and Effect, guys. And George King definitely got to be at the forefront as a favorite. I mean, King last name. And I said this actually last year, and he kind of got really mad at me. Almost took me over this announce table, but I think I'm going to say it again. Will George King become a real king at Cause and Effect? Remember last year he made it to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. He was actually beaten out by Mr. Slate, the eventual winner. But if you look back at how this season has been going so far for George King, it's hard to argue that he is not the favorite to come out ahead at Cause and Effect. Undefeated so far since the beginning of this season. The former undisputed World Heavyweight Champion is on a warpath to get back to that championship. He never got, a proper rematch for it. He did get Chris Proudfoot at Battle Scars in that Thy Kingdom Come, but soon after he was kind of just pushed out, and especially now with Shea Hoxton and Jason Spade jumping out with the NGCW championships and all the focus on them, George King got to be feeling like he's just getting pushed out further and further. But if he's able to win the King of the Ring tournament, there will be no denying him another shot at that title. George King finally reached the peak of the mountain, main evented the grandest stage of them all, Ascendance. But, then he lost it to PJ Moon. Chris Proudfoot immediately cashed in. And like I said, he did get that shot against Proudfoot at Battle Scars. But it was a close match. He lost. And then, like I said, the world kind of just went on. But George King has made it his mission to show everybody, the CMV Universe, the locker room, Mr. Slate, that they can't keep him at bay forever. Going to be Max Ryder starting this one off, though, against Kevin Lee, who's got to be the dark horse, along with probably Misawa Kage, of the King of the Ring tournament. The two men who have a chance to really pull off the upset. Misawa Kage will be in action later on tonight, taking on Gary Reed, a rematch from last episode. Max Ryder going to tag Joe Dirt. And we've seen George King before, and these six-man tag team matches usually lets his Knights do most of the work for him, and I'm not going to say it's not a smart move, especially with the King of the Ring tournament coming up. George King wants to stay as fresh as humanly possible. Certainly have the advantage walking into this one. The Kingdom of a solid unit, whereas we saw on Twitter Kevin Lee, Jay Young, and Killian Red not on good terms, not anywhere near the same page. Killian Red telling Kevin Lee and Jay Young to stay out of his way if they know what's good for them. The European champion will defend his championship next week. And Kevin Lee just hit a dab. Excuse me. Did Kevin Lee just hit a dab? Did the hypothetical Kung Fu practitioner, the two-time World Tag Team Champion, just dab in 2020 on CMV TV? Where's Jay Young going? I thought he was about to dip. I thought Jay Young was about to split on this match. I guess he's just changing his positioning. The last episode, Jay Young went one-on-one with George King. The match ended via a double countout. Catapult European uppercut. Jay Young has got the tenacity to carry himself through the King of the Ring tournament. Another man to keep your eyes on. It's like I said earlier, this is a stacked King of the Ring tournament. It really is a hard field to pick from. I can see any of the 8 men coming out on top, and a tag to Killian Red, some momentary teamwork. Ooh, inverted atomic drop and a big boot from Kevin Lee. Pinned now by the European champion. Speaking of European champions, you know, Killian Red in the ring with perhaps one of the greatest European champions of all time. And George King held that championship for, man, how long was it? Hellish, you're in the chat, right? He held it for like 9 months or something, right? On Unmatched. It was his first championship in CMV, and he had an iron grip on that thing. Killian Red perhaps looking to carve out that kind of legacy for himself with the title. The powerbomb machine giving out 3 of them for King right now, down into a pin. 1. Only a 1 count. It was Brian Novak who held it for 10 months. I believe the only man who held the European Championship longer for George King, Brian Novak. King was nipping at his heels, though. Elbow to the side of that. It's not the European Championship George King is worried about, though. It's that World Championship. It's what keeps him up at night. It's the only thing that he can think about. Getting back to the point where he can hold it up above his head and cause an effect. The King of the Ring tournament is where he can take that next step, where he can finally put himself back in the spotlight. Tag to Max Ryder, who keeps Killian Red down. The Louisiana catches a leg drop. Bucks the clothesline. Getting off one of his own. Dragged by the arm. Everything about Killian Red monstrous. Another power bomb. Look at the size of this guy. Looks like he was grown in a lab. He's got muscles on his muscles. He's got muscles on his eyeballs. Tag now to Jay Young, who's got a serious bone to pick with the Kingdom. Bit of dark matter introduced. TV Dream catching a kick up under the knee. And a belly-to-belly overhead. Jay Young's got a legacy to fulfill here in CMV, trained by Hall of Famer Dave Turner, one of the best technical wrestlers, if not the best technical wrestler to grace a CMV ring. Former NGW Tag Team Champion gets a tag to Killian Red. He was there, why not? And Red certainly has no qualms getting back in to throw some hands. King of the Ring tournament, though, could really be that launching point for Jay Young, as it has been many others in CMV history. Can't help but to see the potential that Jay Young exhibits overhead. I mean, these guys just throwing each other around. Kick to the midsection. Killian Red using all of his weight. Freaking shooting himself out like a missile. One. Off the pin. No, certainly no trace. Tries for a headbutt maybe, but an elbow waiting for him. Body block. Gets caught into a power bomb, of course. What else by Killian Red? I don't know if this man really knows how to hit many other moves that don't involve the words power and bomb. Falling power bomb. There you go. Bit of a modification. Stomp. Right down onto the gut. This gorilla of a man. The European champion. Oh boy, here we go. The fans on their feet. 1, 2, and 3. Joe Dirt, who stands at what? 6'6", maybe 6'7", probably nearing 300 pounds. Like it ain't no thing. Killian Red grabs the wrist, bumping into each other. Neither man will budge though. Tag to George King. Kicking it old school with the drop toe hold, elbow drop combination. See both Kevin Lee and Jay Young offering the tag. The hypothetical Kung Fu practitioner coming in hot. Tries to go for a kick. George King throws him overhead though, and it might be a royal flush. 1, 2, but Jay Young, easy peasy lemon squeezy, too close to the corner, able to break that one. Keep the match going. George King tries to dish out a knee, elbow to the face. Jumping cutter maybe? George King says, nah, some more knees, please. Double axe handle. Nearly knocking every single tooth in Kevin Lee's mouth loose. Snap vertical suplex. George King may be in the best shape of his career. Not only physically, but mentally. He has let nothing and nobody stand in his way this season. And the 7 men he meets in the King of the Ring tournament at cause and effect may be no different. Misses the big boot, that leaves him open. Here comes that blinking and missing offense by Kevin Lee. Misses the head kick though. Elbow busting King open. Snapmare. Going for an elbow. Bam! Right down out of that cut. Trying to make George King gush. Discus knee. Tapping King. And up to the top goes the former 2-time World Tag Team Champion. Moonsault by Kevin Lee. Not too often you're going to see the hypothetical Kung Fu practitioner taking some risks like that. Kick to the gut, up against the ropes. George King with a powerbomb of his own. Killian Red, take notes. Hands on the wrist. Kevin Lee taken down to one knee, but always dangerous from any position. Kevin Lee don't play that. That looping palm strike may have George King on Dream Street. 1, 2. clutching his ribs. Knows he has to make a tag. The European champion in again. And George King just looking like a piece of meat on a silver platter. Still recovering. Killian Red taking him down. Another falling power bomb. And King knows he's got to get the hell out of there right now. Because once Killian Red starts at this track, he cannot be stopped. Joe Dirt gonna check on King at ringside as in comes Max Ryder, turned around, punched to the back of the head. And on the shoulders, of course, turned into a sit-out powerbomb. Come on. Who's in that ring? Killian Red. I don't think I've ever known a man who can hit more power bombs from different positions in ways you wouldn't even think possible. Power bombs unimaginable. Uranagi by Max. Quickly into the cover. 1, 2. Jay Young, just to be safe, ready in a moment's notice. Killian Red, ready to continue the fight for him. Smash at close range. Chops away the hand, kick to the gut. Counters the Irish whip though. Turning around, not a place Max Ryder wants to be, and he knows it. To the side of the head. Reversal fest up in here. Like it's 1999. Where's Maury when you need him? Face first off the top turnbuckle, tag to Kevin Lee. Man, Jay Young's not getting a whole lot of love in this match. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, tag team powerbomb. Mixed together with an elbow drop. Now, how about that? 1, 2. Not even a 2. Got a bit excited there. Max Ryder not happy. When is he ever, though? When is the Kingdom ever in a good mood? Spine buster. Maybe when George King wins King of the Ring, that's when they'll finally smile. Oh, that would have been a 3 count if not with a save by Killian Red. The ref's hand was coming down for the trace. It was said and done. But Red said, not just yet. Max Ryder feeling himself right now. Chilling like a villain. No sweat off his back. I don't know if he wants to be playing with Kevin Lee like this. Did you know that Kevin Lee can punch you in the back of the face? Max Ryder must not have heard this. He must not know this. He must not have done his homework on Kevin Lee. Oh! Oh my God. A discus knife edge chop across the face. A bitch slap. And that's it. The team of Kevin Lee, Jay Young, and Killian Red victorious over the Kingdom. And technically, George King's undefeated streak comes to an end this season. Although he wasn't the one pinned, is on the losing side. And I hope we get a replay of that finish, because I need to see that discus knife edge chop again. Max Ryder fell, and he fell hard. I'm surprised. I really didn't think Kevin Lee, Jay Young, and Killian Red were going to be able to coexist. Jay Young was kind of like shunned in this match. It was mostly Kevin Lee and Red working together pretty well, if I do say so. Damn, we didn't get it. But nonetheless, what a win for these three as they celebrate tonight. But they will be opponents in just 2 weeks at Cause Effect in the King of the Ring tournament. Will one of these three be the next King of CMV? Or will it be one of the 5 other competitors Your eyes do not deceive you. He is back. Reese Matthews, the former undisputed world heavyweight champion, has returned. The first time we are seeing Matthews since Ascendance. He was victorious over Marvelous Marvin wearing a clown uniform, you may recall, unfortunately. But Reese Matthews seems to have cleaned himself up, guys, and I'm hype. Taking on Ashley Amell here on episode 24 of Supremacy. And looking good. I thought we were seeing the downfall and demise of Reese Matthews last season as he kind of slipped into madness. As said, wearing a clown uniform in his Ascendance match with Marvelous Marvin, ending a months-long losing streak, and then he kind of just vanished. Unheard of until right now. In great shape and starting this match off hot against Ashley Amell, the Tower of London. That Hangman's DDT from the top rope. Amell hardly able to get going. Matthews on him like peanut butter on jelly. Ashley Amell's had a real tough go of it this season since losing his partner to injury. Attempting to make it as a single superstar, but finding that to be not such an easy task. So acclimated to tag team competition, and although he has been able to put up a fight like he is right now, more often than not, things have not ended well for the Aussie. Into the pin. It could be a real turning point, though, if he's able to defeat a former world champion. And the returning Reese Matthews, jockeying for control in the collar double tie-up, punched into the corner, boot to the side of the head, taken from behind with a Russian leg sweep. Ashley Amell, hopefully not getting ahead of himself. Can't let your emotions get the better of you when you're in the ring with someone the stature of Reese Matthews. Don't matter that he hasn't had a match in nigh 6 months. We can already see that Matthews has clearly been training in his time away. Getting his body in the right shape, and more importantly, getting his mind in the right shape. Rolling neck snap. Amell with haste. Rock bottom. Bringing the thunder from down under. Ashley Amell with a fisherman suplex stomp to the chest. Soon after, discus punch and another stomp. Amell going big move after big move. Attempting to wear down Reese Matthews. Saw that counter with the knee drop. That's the expertise that the former undisputed world heavyweight champion brings to the table. Back elbow, hit with some serious tenacity. Only gets the 2 count though. And Amell, looking up at the lights, I think I see a 1,000-yard stare. Whoa! Oh! Reese Matthews with a catapult cutter. 1, 2. But it ain't enough to snuff out the fight of Ashley Amell just yet. Rolls out of the way. Catching Reese with an Irish whip. On the rebound. Turns him into a German suplex. And a to go for that roll through again, but it seems Reese Matthews has it well scouted. Might be time for Amel to think of something else, change up the game plan. Put up on the top. Not a place Matthews wants to be. He gets the hell out of there with the quickness, much to the chagrin of Ashley Amel. Forearm smash and an air raid siren. Spins into the cover. This could be monumental for the career of Ashley Amel. It may be do or die, guys, for the Aussie. Loss after loss starting to mount up. He needs a win. He needs a big win, and Reese Matthews may be his meal ticket. Elbow to the face, out of the corner, another back elbow. And I think that might do it. 1, 2. Maybe I'm the one underestimating Ashley Amel here tonight. He brought the fight, but Reese Matthews, I think, brought a bigger one. The total package with another cutter. Turning Amel inside out. 1, 2, 3. Reese Matthews is back. And dare I say, better than ever. Back in shape, Reese Matthews has returned. Looking like $1,000,000. Ashley Amel leaving the ring with his head hung low yet again. Quick drink of the H2O. Pardon me. Co-main event. Up next, a from last episode of the ring competitor Misawa Kage takes on Gary Reed. And Reed in that match last episode, kind of an upset as he defeated Kage. Kage was quick to request a rematch, and so it was granted as he tries to put down Reed in the opening 10 seconds with a kick to the back. Gets a no count, not surprising. Misawa Kage making a big splash, debuting at Point Break, where he beat Ashley Amel in a matter of minutes. Coming from RJPW, the long relationship CMV has with Real Japan Pro Wrestling. Gave us the one and only Matsuda Tanaka. Now Misawa Kage looking to make some big moves here on Supremacy. He's got one of those 8 spots in the King of the Ring tournament. Like I said earlier, kind of a dark horse alongside Kevin Lee. But not so dark that I'm going to count him out after seeing what he did to Ashley Amel. And even last episode, in his loss to Gary Reed, what a match it was. Not upset that we're getting to see it again here tonight. Oh, it snapped the neck of Gary Reed. Is that legal? Does that not kill people? Is Gary Reed still alive? Up next in our main event, guys, it is Bloody Justice one-on-one with Bob Luger. Targets the arm, Reed. You already know what he's trying to soften up Misawa for. That cross arm bar. One of the deadliest submission maneuvers in CMV history. A move that Gary Reed has used to end 2 careers in his time here in CMV. Hang on a minute. Basement dropkick to the knee of Kage. Saw him just pop right back up. Gary Reed, former NGW superstar, splashed onto the scene by making it to the finals of the inaugural NGW Championship Tournament. Former Unified World Tag Team Champion, alongside Walter Willett last season, dominating the division. Now Gary Reed on his own. Trying to carve his own path. Definitely has become acclimated to singles competition very quickly. Didn't take him long to adapt again. Stomps to the chest by Kage. Japan and Scotland clashing. Kage, surprised, is only able to get a 1 count. Look how fast, though, Gary Reed is back on his shit. Elbow to the side of the head. A couple of them escaping that attempted choke slam attempt, it was looking like. It's as if these two just picked up where they left off last episode. There's no wasting time. They just got right into it. Some more stomps to the chest. The bare feet of Kage. Some people say that makes him deadlier. Some people say it's a vulnerability. I'll tell you what, when Kage hits those kicks, I'm sure that his opponents are thinking, ow. I'm thinking, goddamn, please stop. Hopefully he clips his toenails. Straight jacket neck breaker. Out of the ring goes Gary Reed. Kage messing with our minds. Running into the ropes, thought he was going to jump out onto Reed. Still running. He's got that treadmill on high. Reed putting an end to his antics. Stiff kick to the chest. Going for the legs. Kage said, Kick to the bicep. Kage gotta stop giving ground to Reed to protect those arms. Launches him out of the ring. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. And Reed, as if saying, Supremacy is my show. This is my ring. You know, just as quickly as Kage requested the rematch, Gary Reed accepted. I don't know what he's thinking here, but it took too much time, and Kage is able to chop him down, hit hard on the apron, float over DDT, guys. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but I did. The sound of Reed's skull meeting that mat. Count of 4 back into the ring, and I don't know, Gary Reed looks like he's out of it. Kage, another choke slam attempt, another counter into a complete shot this time by the Dragon. Take it down swiftly with that arm drag. Tries to go after that leg. Gary Reed, elbow to the shoulder. And as he turns around, middle of the ring, Reed, the cross armbar again, another time. Will Misawa Kage be forced to tap out 2 episodes in a row? He's trying to hang in there, but look at the extension. The referee calls it no tap out. Misawa Kage was able to survive. Reed had to let go. nothing left in the tank to keep it locked in. You know, that arm has got to be feeling like it went through a shredder, though. I guess Misawa Kage may be building up a bit of a tolerance from last episode. Preparing himself. And able to do what not a whole lot of others can say that they have survived. Drop kick to the chest, both men down. As the referee gets up to a count of 6. Misawa Kage to his feet first. Gary Reed, only a second later, throws him over into the steps, and Misawa Kage perhaps looking to take the count-out victory. Squash that theory in an instant as Misawa Kage coming to collect. His opponent throws him back into the ring, wanting to prove that last episode was a run of luck. Kage with a reverse DDT down onto the knee. Kage, that hand raised up high, scouting Reed for the choke slam with a third time in the charge. No! Reversing it for a third time. And at this point, Misawa Kage may have to think of an alternative route to defeat Gary Reed, because I don't think that choke slam's working out for him now. Sliding shin strike, goes for the cover. Desperate at this point is Kage. You can't really blame him. He wants to get his momentum back up heading into the King of the Ring tournament, but Gary Reed proved to be quite the obstacle. Arm wrench, rushes ahead into a drop toe hold. Irish whip on the apron. And Kage laughing at Gary Reed. Disrespect. Kage with a clobbering blow to the back of Reed's head, setting him face first down to the canvas as he was hanging on the ropes. Another pinfall attempt, another kick out at 2. Gary Reed tired of people saying he doesn't have what it takes to succeed on his own. European uppercut. The back of the head and a pendulum drop kick. Double boots piercing the chest of Kage. The Japan native may be in big trouble. That spinning sidewalk slam, leaving him wide open. Gary Reed full mount. You can see the frustration is building. And Gary Reed, though, I know he's a smart man. He's got to keep those emotions at bay. Swinging knee. Response with an Irish whip, slowly approaching. Knee to the gut, drops him down onto the canvas. Reed, arms out wide. If he sinks his teeth into Kage again, rolling armbar, a second time in this match. There's no way Kage survives, and the tap, Gary Reed. For a second time, besting Misawa Kage. Another instant classic between these two, producing the Dragon as the victor. Able to reverse that choke slam not once, not twice, but 3 times. Slapped on the cross armbar, guys, and as we know, you either tap or you snap. Looks like Reed may have gotten a little cut there in that war. But again, standing tall. And after this, one has to wonder if it should be Gary Reed going into the King of the Ring tournament. Main event time. Beauties here on Supremacy 24. As we are set to see Bloody Justice and Bob Luger collide 1-on-1. Bloody Justice saying earlier this week Bob Luger is going to pay for meddling in the affairs of the Justice family. Remember, it was Bloody Justice and Jared Leon, the unified tag team champions, tasked with eliminating Quantum once and for all. Mr. Slate, after thinking he had gotten rid of Bob Luger at Point Break, wanted to make sure that Quantum wouldn't be causing any more commotions, but just as Quantum had his back, Luger came to the rescue of the Future Man. Now we have a match set for cause and effect. Bloody Justice and Jared Leon versus the team of Quantum and Bob Luger. Well, earlier tonight, Quantum able to knock off Jared Leon. Will the unlucky streak of the Justice family continue up against the alliance of Quantum and Bob Luger? Saw how Justice kicked things off, shoving his fingers down Luger's throat, looking to put him to sleep from the get-go. Luger, German suplex is being handed out like candy on Halloween. Bob Luger is fired up. How many times has Luger been knocked down and gotten back up again? How many times has Bob Luger fought against the odds and come out the other side still standing tall? Look, we got a nice crossface chicken wing by Bob Luger. But Bloody Justice not looking to stick around in it for very long. Clothesline by the work ethic titan. Defeated by Chris Proudfoot with the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship on the line. The main event, a Point Break, after weeks and weeks and weeks of being tormented by Mr. Slate and Tailcoat Val and Co. Yeah, Mr. Slate gave him his title shot, but only after making sure Luger went into the match only half a man, nowhere near 100%. And hey, I'll say it, I thought Luger was done for too. But as he usually does, rose from the ashes and yet again got in the way of Mr. Slate's goals. Bob Luger, shades of his papa, out of the torture rack, a neck breaker. Rushing into the pin. This one could be over before it really even gets started. But Bloody Justice making sure that does not happen. Doesn't want to disappoint Mr. Slate, who's already at his wit's end when it comes to Bob Luger and Quantum, and definitely doesn't want to get on the bad side of Tailcoat Val. But wait a minute, Bob Luger, is he going to fly? He is! Suicide dive, baby, by the Cardio Maniac. And the fans chanted, this is awesome, because Luger ain't usually the one to be taking risks like that. But I think the reason Luger is truly one of the best to ever do it, and the reason that he's always able to stay in the spotlight and hang with this new generation because he's constantly updating his game. Bob Luger stays on that work ethic of his. Every single match is really never the same because Bob Luger, this is about that. His opponents may try their best, but they find it hard to prepare for Luger. Nice catch by Bloody Justice. Dropping Luger down onto his knee. And we are currently on a count of 11, guys. Only have until 20 to get back into the ring. But you can see that the concern for the referee's count, secondary. I'm not entirely sure if Bob Luger and Bloody Justice are aware. At the count, tornado pile driver, got on the outside. 17. Sickening. And more stomps. Bloody Justice rushing into the ring, breaking the count. Bloody Justice saving this match from ending via countout. We talked about before, what a win this would be for Bloody Justice and how before in his career he's been known to pull out these massive upset dubs. And after weeks and weeks of Quantum and Bob Luger getting the better of the Unified World Tag Team Champions, I think Bloody Justice wants to prove that he could beat Bob Luger by pinning him in the middle of the ring. But that may come back to bite him. Bob Luger with a Coney Island Cyclone on the outside, saying, you want to tombstone pile drive me? Here's a receipt.
12.
The referee already back up to a count of 12.
13.
Any chance Bob Luger has to get his hands on one of Mr. Slate's allies relishes in the art
15.
of whooping him up and down. German suplex, some stomps to the upper back. Now it's Luger back into the ring, and Luger breaking the count. Luger would never take a count-out victory. Not if he has anything to say about it. And finally, back into the ring we go. Clothesline not fully connecting, but Bloody Justice tries for the pin anyway. 1, 2, 3, what? Bloody Justice didn't even fully connect with that clothesline, but I guess after all the damage outside of the ring, and hang on, Bob Luger's back to his feet. Luger showing some respect. A handshake. Bob Luger giving the credit to Bloody Justice, who yet again gets the massive upset. And Bob Luger able to recognize, hey, my beef is truly with Mr. Slate. And you got me, kid. Offering the handshake, Bloody Justice accepts. But the fact of the matter is, cause and effect, it'll be the Unified World Tag Team Champions, Bloody Justice and Jared Leon against Quantum and Bob Luger. Will the titles be on the line, though? One thing's for certain, this was kind of must-win. Bloody Justice defeating Bob Luger here at our main event. Huge. And guys, thank you as always for tuning in and watching along with me. Thank you also for bearing with me these last few weeks. For me being sick and not being able to stream and all that. And shouts out to Hellish, by the way, for picking up the slack with Crossfire a couple weeks ago and commentating for us. Appreciate that. But if you're new and you like what you saw, make sure you drop a follow so that you get those notifications when I go live. If you want to join CMV, you can hit up our commands in the chat, ! Discord, to join our Discord where our community primarily interacts, and ! Twitter. Drop us a follow there to stay up to date with everything CMV. And until next time, I'll probably be live on Wednesday for Crossfire. I think I have Wednesday off. So I will see you then. I hope you have a lovely rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.